"Get up, old man, get up!" The entire gym was screaming, but Tatay Rodel didn't move. He just stood there, calm, silent, staring at the champion on the ground. Marcus the Beast Alvarez, undefeated in 32 fights, was on his knees, gasping for air. Blood dripped from his nose. His hands were shaking. "How?" Marcus whispered. "How did you—" Tatay Rodel's eyes were filled with tears. "You asked for this, Anak," he said softly. "You wanted to humiliate me. Now tell me, was it worth it?" The crowd fell silent, because they all realized the same terrible truth. They had laughed at this old janitor, ignored him, insulted him, treated him like trash. But the man in the janitor's uniform, he was a legend they never recognized. And what happened next would break your heart. Every morning at 4:30 a.m., before the sun touched Manila's sky, Tatay Rodel was already awake. He lived in a 4-6 bed space in Mandaluyong. No windows, no fan, just a thin mattress on plywood. His alarm didn't wake him. The ache in his back did. 62 years old, and every joint screamed when he moved. But he never complained. He'd wash his face with cold water from a bucket, put on his faded janitor's uniform, the same one he'd worn for 10 years, eat yesterday's leftover rice, then walk 40 minutes to Champion's Gym because jeepney fare was 13 pesos he could save. By 5:30 a.m. he was mopping floors. By 6 a.m. when the fighters arrived, the gym was spotless. Mirrors shining, mats clean, bathrooms fresh, but no one noticed. No one said thank you. To them, Tatay Rodel was invisible, a ghost in a janitor's uniform. But at night, when he was alone in that tiny room, Tatay Rodel would pull out a worn envelope from under his mattress. Inside were 3 things: a faded newspaper clipping from 1989, Rodel Kidlat Santos wins 3rd national championship, a photo of him wearing a gold medal, young and strong, smiling with pride, and a letter from his daughter, Angela. "Tatay, thank you for the tuition. I passed my exams, 2 more years and I'll be a nurse. I'll take care of you and Nane, I promise. You won't have to work so hard anymore. I love you, Tay. Mahal na mahal kita." Tatay Rodel would kiss that letter and cry because that letter was his why. Why he endured disrespect. Why he swallowed his pride. Why he mopped floors at 62 when he should be resting. Love makes you do impossible things. And Tatay Rodel loved his family more than life itself. Marcus the Beast Alvarez was everything Tatay Rodel once was. Young, strong, talented, famous, black belt undefeated fighter, social media celebrity. But Marcus had something Tatay Rodel never had: cruelty. He loved humiliating people, especially the weak, the old, the invisible. It made him feel powerful. One Friday night, the gym was packed. Marcus was training, showing off for his girlfriend and a group of sponsors. "Baby, watch this combo," he shouted, unleashing a violent kick at the heavy bag. It swung wild, crash, and slammed into Tatay Rodel's cleaning cart. Bottles shattered, water spilled everywhere. Tatay Rodel was on his knees immediately, picking up broken glass with his bare hands. Ay, sorry po, he whispered. Marcus laughed. "Tatay, gago, bantayan mo naman yung cart mo. Nakabala ka sa training ko." His friends roared with laughter. Tatay Rodel's hands were shaking as he cleaned. A piece of glass cut his thumb. Blood mixed with the dirty water, but he didn't stop. Marcus walked over, standing over him. "Uy, Tatay, ilang taon ka na ba? 70, 80? 62 po," Tatay Rodel said quietly. 62, Grabe? And you're still mopping floors? Marcus turned to his friends. "Guys, kung ako umabot ng 62, shoot me na lang. I'd rather die than end up like this." The crowd laughed harder. Tatay Rodel felt something crack deep in his chest. But he kept cleaning. Then Marcus said the words that changed everything. "You know what, Tatay? I'm bored. Fight me. 1 round, just for fun." The gym went silent. Tatay Rodel looked up slowly. Marcus grinned. "Oh, what? Takot ka? Come on, old man. I'll give you 500 pesos. Easy money. Unless you're too weak and too old." Someone in the crowd yelled, "Do it, Tatay." 500 pesos. Another voice. "He's too scared. Look at him shaking." More laughter. More mocking, more cruelty. And then Marcus bent down, looked Tatay Rodel in the eyes and whispered, "You're pathetic. A waste of space, nobody. Do you even know that? Something snapped, not in anger, in grief, because Tatai Rodel realized, I've been swallowing this poison for 10 years. He stood up slowly, put down the broken glass, looked Marcus straight in the eye, and said one word, Sige. The gym exploded. Wait, seriously? Marcus couldn't believe it. 1 round, Tatai Rodel said. His voice was different now. Steady, calm, cold. Marcus laughed nervously. Bro, are you sure? I don't want to hurt you, Tatai. You won't. The crowd went insane. Phones came out. People started recording. Someone screamed, World Star! Coach Danny pushed through the crowd. Rodel, don't do this! But Tatai Rodel was already removing his gloves. Coach, he said quietly, I have to. Why? Coach Danny grabbed his shoulders. Why now, after all these years? Tatai Rodel's eyes filled with tears. Because I'm tired, Danny. Tired of being treated like I'm nothing. Tired of pretending it doesn't hurt. His voice broke. Maybe just this once. I want to be seen. Coach Danny's face went pale because he suddenly understood. He knew who Rodel Santos was. He knew what Rodel Santos could do. Rodel, if you do this, Coach Danny whispered, everything will change. Good, Tatai Rodel said. It's time. He stepped onto the mat. The crowd formed a circle. Marcus was bouncing, confident, smiling. But when Tatai Rodel took his stance, the smile faded from Marcus's face. Because that stance wasn't the stance of a janitor. It was the stance of a warrior. Begin, someone yelled. Marcus came in fast. Jab cross, low kick, all perfect technique, all perfectly avoided. Tatai Rodel moved like water, smooth, effortless, impossible. Marcus threw 5 more strikes. None of them landed. Stop running, Marcus shouted. I'm not running, Anak! Marcus charged, and Tatai Rodel's hand shot out. 1 palm strike to the chest. Marcus stumbled back, gasping, What the? Another strike. Precise, controlled. Marcus fell to 1 knee. The crowd gasped. Get up! Someone yelled. Marcus, get up! Marcus stood, his face red with rage and shame. You're dead, old man. He unleashed everything. Punches, kicks, elbows, knees, a storm of violence. But Tatai Rodel, he was dancing in the rain. Every attack missed, every strike deflected, and then Tatai Rodel moved. 1 step inside, 1 sweep. Marcus crashed onto the mat, hard. Before he could react, Tatai Rodel had him pinned. 1 knee on his chest, 1 hand controlling his arm. Marcus couldn't move, couldn't breathe, couldn't believe what was happening. Impossible, he screamed. This is impossible. Tatai Rodel's face was inches from his. Tears were streaming down the old man's face. Nothing is impossible, Anak, he whispered. When you have something worth fighting for. Let me go, let me go. Marcus was sobbing now. The entire gym was frozen. No one could speak, no one could move. They were watching a legend they never knew existed. Coach Danny's voice cut through the silence. Do you know who this man is? Everyone turned. Coach Danny's face was wet with tears. This man, he said, his voice shaking, is Rodel Kidlat Santos. 3-time national Arnis champion. SEA Games gold medalist. He represented the Philippines when most of you weren't even born. The crowd erupted. What? The janitor? No fucking way, Coach Danny continued. In 1989, he fought the Indonesian champion and won in 47 seconds. In 1991, he won gold with a broken rib. He's a living legend. Marcus was shaking on the ground. Then why? His voice was barely a whisper. Why are you cleaning our toilets? Tatai Rodel released him, stood up, looked at Marcus with eyes full of pain and love. Because Anna, his voice broke. My wife needs medicine, my daughter needs tuition, my grandson needs food. Tears poured down his face. Championships don't pay bills, trophies don't cure diabetes, medals don't send your children to school. He picked up his mop. I was a champion once. People screamed my name. Strangers asked for my autograph. I had everything. His hands were trembling. But then my wife got sick. My daughter got pregnant and her husband left. My son died in an accident. And suddenly, none of that glory mattered. The gym was silent except for his voice. So I did what any father would do. I found work. Any work. Because pride doesn't feed your family. Dignity doesn't pay for medicine. He looked at Marcus. I mopped your floors, I cleaned your toilets. I swallowed your insults every single day. His voice rose. Because my family needed me to be strong. Not strong here, he pointed to his fists. But strong here, he pointed to his heart. Marcus was sobbing uncontrollably now. I'm sorry, he choked out. I'm so sorry, Tatai. God, I'm so sorry. Tatai Rodel knelt beside him, pulled him into his arms, and held him while he cried. Shh, Anak, it's okay. It's okay. I'm a monster, Marcus sobbed. I treated you like trash. You're a hero and No, Anak. Listen to me. Tatai Rodel lifted Marcus's face. You're not a monster. You're just young, you're lost. You forgot what real strength looks like. He smiled through his tears. But you can change, starting now. Today, this moment. Marcus nodded, unable to speak. Tatai Rodel stood, helping Marcus to his feet. The entire gym erupted in applause, but Marcus couldn't hear it. All he could hear was Tatai Rodel's voice. Be better, Anak. Be better. The video went viral in hours. 10 million views by morning. News channels, radio stations. International media. Filipino Janitor defeats black belt champion. His identity shocks the world. But Tatai Rodel tried to hide. He didn't want fame, he just wanted to work. Until Coach Danny found him. Rodel, we need to talk. Coach, please. I'm making you head coach. Triple salary, full benefits. Health insurance for your whole family. Tatai Rodel froze. Your daughter's tuition, paid. Your grandson's education, paid. Your wife's medicine, covered. Tears exploded from Tatai Rodel's eyes. Coach, I don't deserve... You deserve everything, Rodel. You've earned it 1,000 times over. They embraced, both weeping. And Marcus? Every single morning at 4:30 a.m. he met Tatai Rodel outside the gym, not to train, to mop floors together. Tatai, why are we doing this? Marcus asked one morning. Because, Anak, a true champion never forgets where real strength comes from. It doesn't come from being undefeated. It comes from serving others, even when no one's watching. Marcus nodded, tears in his eyes. 6 months later, Marcus won the national championship. But before accepting the trophy, he called Tatai Rodel on stage. This man, Marcus said, his voice breaking, saved my life, not by defeating me, but by showing me what a real champion looks like. He bowed deeply. Tatai, this trophy is yours. It always was. The crowd rose, applauding, crying. Tatai Rodel stood there, holding Marcus's hand, and whispered, No, Anak, it's ours. Listen carefully. The person serving your coffee might be a scholar. The guard at your building might be a war hero. The janitor at your gym might be a legend. Never, and I mean never, look down on anyone. Because everyone you meet is fighting battles you know nothing about. True strength isn't about how hard you can hit. It's about how much you can love when life hits you. It's about standing back up. It's about serving others. It's about sacrificing your pride for the people you love. That is what makes a champion. Not trophies, not fame, not victories, but love. The greatest warriors don't wear medals. They wear the scars of sacrifice, invisible to everyone but God. Respect them, honor them. Because one day, when you're on your knees and broken, you'll need someone like Tatai Rodel to remind you, you are stronger than you know, and you are loved more than you'll ever understand. Dedicated to every parent working multiple jobs, every father swallowing his pride, every mother sacrificing her dreams. You are the real champions, and heaven is keeping score.